This video is about Gilgamesh journeys until monster strikes. If this myth excites you, please like the video, share it with friends, and write in the comments how it pulled you into the adventure. #Gilgamesh journeys until monster strikes. In the ancient city of Uruk, under the watchful gaze of the moonlit sky, the thunderous heartbeat of destiny echoed. Gilgamesh, the mighty king, stood atop the fortress walls, his heart consumed by a restless longing that transcended the tangible. His blood surged with the tales of old, of heroes carved into the stars and of gods who walked the earth. He felt it, a pull toward a destiny not yet written, a journey that would etch his name in the annals of eternity. As dawn broke over the horizon, painting the world in hues of gold, the whispers of the gods unfurled around him. Enkidu, his steadfast companion, approached, sensing the tempest within his friend. "What burdens your heart, O Gilgamesh? Is it power you seek, or perhaps something more ethereal?" His voice, low and steady, cut through the morning air like an arrow finding its mark. Gilgamesh turned, the sun catching the glint in his fierce blue eyes. "I yearn for adventure, Enkidu. I feel the call of uncharted lands, of monsters that threaten our existence, of glory that awaits those brave enough to seize it." He thrust his fist into the air, embodying untamed ambition. Enkidu nodded, understanding the heart of a warrior. "Then we shall heed this call, but the gods may test us. We must tread with honor, lest we invite their wrath." With a shared glance of resolve, the two embarked on their fateful quest, the weight of destiny shifting beneath their feet. As they journeyed through the verdant fields bordering Uruk, the air crackled with anticipation. It was in the depths of the forest of cedar, revered and feared by all, that the first trial awaited. Legends spoke of a creature dwelling within, a beast of grotesque form, fierce and cunning, sworn to guard the sacred trees. The very essence of life and death hung in the balance. As they stepped deeper into the shadows of the towering cedars, the atmosphere thickened, drawing them into a web of ancient magic. "Be cautious, my friend," Enkidu urged, his senses heightened. "The whispers of the trees tell of a great danger that lies ahead." Just as dusk began to blanket the forest in a cloak of twilight, a low growl emanated from the shadows. The ground trembled beneath their feet, and from the depths of the underbrush emerged the creature, a monstrous guardian, its body twisted, scales glistening like dark jewels, eyes burning with ferocity and ancient wisdom. The air seemed to thicken with dread as it fixed its gaze on the intruders. "Who dares disturb my slumber?" The creature bellowed, its voice a thunderclap. "You tread on sacred grounds. Only those worthy may pass." Gilgamesh stepped forward, emboldened by the weight of his lineage. "We seek to delve into the depths of destiny, to cleanse the world of darkness. If it is worthiness you seek, then let our valor and resolve be proven." With a roar that shattered the stillness, the monster lunged, the forest erupting in chaos. Gilgamesh drew his sword, its blade gleaming with the light of the stars, while Enkidu transformed, his primal essence merging with the wild spirit of the forest. The clash of steel and claw resounded, a symphony of chaos that echoed through the ages. The creature was relentless, a whirlwind of fury. Gilgamesh danced between its strikes, each movement fueled by the fire of his destiny. Enkidu, fierce and primal, struck with the ferocity of the wild, but the beast was cunning, dodging and weaving, a master of the shadows. "Together, Enkidu, we are stronger united." Gilgamesh shouted amidst the chaos, their bond amplifying their strength. They fought as one, a tempest of fury and honor, but the monster was relentless, its claws tearing through the air. With a final desperate roar, the creature lunged and Gilgamesh struck true, the blade piercing its heart. For a moment, time stood still. The beast's growl transformed into a mournful sigh as it crumpled to the ground, life ebbing away. In its last moments, the creature's eyes met Gilgamesh's, an unsettling recognition passing between them. "Brave warrior," it rasped, "you may conquer beasts, but beware, greater trials wait beyond. The heart of the world beats with peril, and darkness stirs where light falters." And with that, the creature faded into the earth, leaving behind a haunting echo of its warning. As the dust settled, Gilgamesh and Enkidu stood amidst the remnants of battle, their chests heaving. The realization of their victory mingled with unease. "What does it mean?" Enkidu whispered, staring into the void where the creature had fallen. "What darkness stirs?" "Only the gods know, my friend," Gilgamesh replied, his voice laced with gravity. "But we are bound by fate to seek the truth." They gathered themselves, the forest now eerily silent, as if holding its breath. The journey pressed on, leading them through treacherous ravines and towering peaks, into realms where the air shimmered with ancient magic. Each step brought forth challenges, spectral illusions that tested their resolve, trials crafted by the gods themselves to fortify their spirits. In the Valley of Time, they faced a tempest that twisted reality. Shadows of the past danced before them, taunting them with lost memories and regrets, forcing them to confront the very essence of their souls. "What haunts you, Gilgamesh?" Enkidu asked, his voice a lifeline amid the chaos. "Fear of what I may become," Gilgamesh confessed, his heart heavy with the weight of kingship and loneliness. "To be remembered as a tyrant or a hero, the legends are fickle." Enkidu clasped his shoulder, his presence a steadying force. "Do not let fear dictate your path. Remember, destiny favors the brave." With renewed determination, they pushed through the storm, their spirits unyielding against the maelstrom of memory. Finally, as night descended upon the land, they reached the fabled Mount Mashu, where the sun sets and rises, entwined in eternal battle. Here they sought the wisdom of the gods, guardians of fate and time, who whispered secrets through the winds. But the trials were not over. Atop the mountain, they confronted the gatekeepers, divine entities woven from starlight and shadow, their eyes burning with cosmic knowledge. "What brings you to this sacred abode? What do you seek from the gods?" one asked, its voice like thunder rolling across the heavens. Gilgamesh stepped forward, his heart steeled. "We seek knowledge, wisdom to confront the darkness that stirs. We must learn of the trials that await us, for the heart of the world is at stake." His voice resonated with conviction, a challenge to the divine. The gatekeepers exchanged knowing glances, their forms shifting like smoke. "Very well, brave ones," they replied. "You shall be tested, for only through trials can you uncover the truths you seek." Suddenly, the ground shook and a portal opened, swirling with colors of the cosmos, beckoning them to step forward into the unknown. But as they approached, a shadow fell across the land, an omen of things to come. From the depths of the earth arose a new monster, summoned by the fury of the trials. This beast, larger than the last, bore the visage of nightmares, eyes glimmering with malevolence. "Fools to seek the gods, prepare to meet your end." It roared, the very air quaking with its rage. Gilgamesh and Enkidu exchanged resolute glances, their hearts pounding in unison. "Stand firm, Enkidu, we will not falter," Gilgamesh shouted, raising his sword toward the heavens. With a war cry that echoed through the fabric of reality, they charged at the creature, a whirlwind of resolve and fury. And so, the battle began anew, a clash of titans amid the swirling cosmos, the echoes of their struggle a testament to the strength of determination, honor, and the bonds forged in the fires of adversity. The fate of the world hung in the balance as Gilgamesh and Enkidu faced darkness incarnate, ready to carve their names into the legend that awaited them. To be continued. #Gilgamesh Journeys, Until Monster Strikes Part 2. The monstrous guardian towered above them, an embodiment of chaos and shadow. Its form writhed, shifting between grotesque shapes, as if woven from the very nightmares that haunt the hearts of mortals. Blood-red eyes blazed with fury, and from its maw a growl reverberated, shaking the air. "Prepare to meet your doom, fools." It bellowed, the sound like thunder rolling across desolate plains. Gilgamesh tightened his grip on his sword, the blade warm with the flicker of celestial light. "Enkidu, we fight not just for ourselves but for all of Uruk. This darkness seeks to shroud the world." His voice rang with determination, a beacon amid the encroaching shadows. "Then let our spirits blaze like the sun." Enkidu roared back, his form transforming further into the primal essence of the wild, muscles rippling with raw strength, eyes fierce with the spirit of the forest. The air thickened with energy as he unleashed a howl that sent shivers through the very fabric of the world. With a burst of movement, the beast lunged, swinging its talons with lethal grace. Gilgamesh sidestepped, narrowly evading the attack, and struck with a swift, calculated thrust. The blade met the monster's scales, a shower of sparks illuminating the darkened mountaintop. You strike with courage, but your blade is but a whisper against the storm. The beast taunted, recoiling for a counterattack. Then let the storm rage. Gilgamesh shouted, his resolve igniting the air around him. In a single fluid motion, he pirouetted, bringing his sword down with a force born from 1,000 battles. The blade sliced through the beast's arm, and a screech filled the night, echoing across the valley below. Enkidu pressed the advantage, pouncing with primal agility. He sunk his teeth into the monster's flank, his claws raking against its hide. The creature howled in pain, but the wound only seemed to fuel its fury. "You think to conquer me," it sneered, eyes glinting with malice. "This is but the beginning of your suffering." As the beast lumbered backward, its form twisted and morphed, expanding to become a towering shadow that blotted out the moon. The very ground trembled beneath its weight, and it unleashed a roar that sent shockwaves rippling through the air, knocking Gilgamesh and Enkidu to the earth. "Stay strong, brother," Enkidu shouted, pulling himself up amidst the dust and chaos. "We cannot afford to waver." Gilgamesh struggled to his knees, his breath coming in ragged gasps. "The gods test our resolve. We fight not just for ourselves, but for every soul that draws breath in our realm." With a renewed surge of energy, they charged at the beast once more, their movements synchronized, an echo of the unbreakable bond they had forged. Gilgamesh swung his sword in an arc of brilliance, while Enkidu darted beneath, striking at the creature's underbelly. Together they became a whirlwind, a tempest of fury and defiance. "Feel the might of my ancestors." Gilgamesh roared, his sword glowing brighter with each swing, illuminating the darkness that threatened to envelop them. "Let the woods hear our cry." Enkidu joined, his voice a deep rumble, melding with the primal forces of nature. As they fought, the world around them shifted in sight and sound. The air crackled with magic as the gates of the divine opened, revealing specters of warriors long fallen, ancient heroes who had fought against the tides of darkness. They watched, their faces etched with respect and sorrow, urging Gilgamesh and Enkidu onward. In a moment of clarity, Gilgamesh glimpsed the whispers of fate unraveling before them. "Enkidu, we must strike at the heart. It is the only way." He moved with purpose, aiming for the center of the beast's chest, where shadows coalesced like a dark core of energy. Together, Enkidu bellowed, pushing through the chaos, igniting his primal strength into a final push. They wove through the beast's defenses, a tempest of determination and fury. With a final, desperate strike, Gilgamesh plunged his sword deep into the monster's heart, the blade piercing through the fabric of the beast's essence. Energy erupted with cataclysmic force, a shockwave radiating outwards, engulfing them both in a blinding light. The creature let out a roar that shook the heavens, a sound of anguish and defiance. "You may defeat me, but know this: darkness is eternal and it will rise again." With that, the beast's form disintegrated, scattering into shadows that faded into the ether. As silence enveloped Mount Mashu, the weight of victory mingled with an unsettling foreboding. Gilgamesh and Enkidu stood amidst the remnants of battle, their bodies battered but their spirits unbroken. Did we truly defeat it? Enkidu panted, gazing into the vastness above where the stars twinkled brightly. "Today, yes," Gilgamesh replied, glancing at the remnants of the creature's essence swirling in the wind. "But its warning lingers. We must remain vigilant. The darkness knows no defeat, it merely retreats to gather strength." As they took a moment to catch their breath, the gatekeepers of the divine emerged from the veil of light, their forms shimmering with an otherworldly glow. "You have proven your valor, brave warriors," one spoke, voice resonating like a divine chorus. But your journey is far from over. Trials await that will test not just your strength, but your very souls. We are prepared, Gilgamesh declared, eyes burning with fierce resolve. Whatever fate awaits us, we shall face it together. The gatekeepers nodded, their eyes reflecting the infinity of time. Then heed this. The darkness you have faced is but a shadow of what lies ahead. You must seek the temple of Ziggurat, where the ancients hold the knowledge to confront the malevolent forces stirring in the depths of the earth. And what of the price? Enkidu inquired, sensing the weight of their quest deepening. Every journey carved in honor demands sacrifice, the gatekeeper replied, their gaze piercing through the veil of time. Only through sacrifice shall you find the wisdom needed to confront the true darkness. With a final nod, the gatekeepers faded away, and the world around them shimmered with potential. The mountain seemed to breathe, alive with the echoes of the past and the whispers of the future. Onward, my friend, Gilgamesh declared, his spirit ignited with the fire of destiny. We shall reclaim the light for Uruk and all the lands beyond, but we must be prepared for the trials that await. As they descended the mountain, resolutely stepping into the unknown, the horizon dawned with promise. Yet, lingering in the shadows, ancient eyes watched their every move, forces of darkness that would stop at nothing to extinguish the flame of hope. They ventured deeper into the heart of the world, the path ahead wrought with perils unseen, their fate a delicate thread woven by the hands of the gods. With each step forward, they drew closer to the temple of Ziggurat, a beacon of knowledge and a crucible of trials designed to test their very souls. Let us remember, Enkidu, Gilgamesh said, his voice steady as they charged into the unknown. No matter how dark the path, our honor and bond shall guide us. We are warriors of fate and we will not falter. And so, their journey continued, a tapestry of adventure stretching before them, filled with challenges that would carve their names into the legends of old, forging a legacy that would echo through the ages. To be continued. # Gilgamesh Journeys, Until Monster Strikes Part 3. As dawn broke anew over the rugged terrain, Gilgamesh and Enkidu pressed onward, the weight of impending trials hanging thick in the air. The temple of Ziggurat loomed ahead, its ancient stones whispering of forgotten wisdom and deep-rooted secrets, a monument to gods and men alike. Yet as they approached the sacred edifice, a chilling wind swept across the plains, carrying with it the scent of despair and ancient magic. Beware the shadows that linger here, Enkidu warned, his senses tingling with foreboding. The temple guards its secrets with ferocity. We must tread carefully, for darkness thrives where light falters. Gilgamesh nodded, his resolve unyielding, but anxiety gnawed at his heart. I can feel it, Enkidu. The air stirs with echoes of battles long past. Whatever lies within, we will face it together. With each step, they ascended the vast staircase, the stones worn smooth by the footsteps of countless pilgrims and warriors. The temple's entrance was grand, adorned with carvings that depicted stories of old, heroes clashing with gods, men and monsters locked in an eternal struggle. Yet as they entered, the once illuminated hall dimmed, casting them into a realm of shadows. Welcome, brave souls, a voice echoed, reverberating through the hollow chambers like a distant thunder. Emerging from the shadows was an ethereal figure, cloaked in shimmering light and darkness intertwined. It was the spirit of a guardian, a being forged from the very essence of the temple itself. You seek knowledge, yet knowledge comes with a price. Are you prepared to pay? Gilgamesh stepped forward, his brow furrowed with determination. We are warriors of destiny. We seek the wisdom to confront the darkness that threatens our world. We will pay the price, whatever it may be. The guardian's eyes glimmered with ancient knowledge. Then listen well, for your first trial begins now. To gain the truth, you must face your greatest fears, for only through understanding can you wield your destinies. As the guardian's words faded, the temple walls began to shift and swirl, transforming into a vast landscape of memories, visions of past failures and sorrows. Gilgamesh found himself standing alone in a desolate field, shrouded in mist, echoes of terrible whispers surrounding him. "Remember Gilgamesh," a spectral voice teased. "The weight of your crown is heavy, tyranny lurks in your heart." His hand instinctively reached for the hilt of his sword, but instead he stood empty-handed before a vision of his father, the late king, standing before him, disappointment etched into his features. "Why do you seek glory, son, when you could be a tyrant like I was?" "No," Gilgamesh shouted, desperation clawing at his throat. "I am not my father. I seek to protect, not to oppress." But the vision morphed, revealing the faces of those he had wronged, the voices of the people murmuring in disdain, accusing him of arrogance and pride. "You are a monster just like him. You shall bring ruin upon Uruk." Panic surged within him as shadows closed in, threatening to swallow him whole. "Enkidu, where are you?" He cried out, but the mist swallowed his voice, leaving him in oppressive silence. In the depths of despair, a familiar presence found him. It was Enkidu, emerging from the veil of shadows. "Gilgamesh, listen to me. You are more than what haunts you. Remember why you fight." Enkidu's words pierced the fog around him, igniting the embers of courage within Gilgamesh's heart. "I fight for my people, for honor. I will not be consumed by fear." With those words, the shadows recoiled, unraveling like threads of darkness, revealing the true path forward. The mist dissipated as Gilgamesh turned towards Enkidu, his eyes ablaze with newfound clarity. "Together, my friend," Enkidu urged, and with a surge of energy, they advanced into a new realm of memories, their shared laughter, the bond forged in battle, the promises made under the stars. "Now face your own trials." The guardian's voice echoed, and suddenly Enkidu found himself standing in a solitary forest, where the trees loomed ominously, whispering secrets that echoed his deepest fears. "Enkidu, the wild spirit," the voices hissed, "but what of your own nature? You are bound to destruction." Images of his primal self surged, primal urges overwhelming him with ferocity. The echo of his claws rending flesh, the thrill of the hunt, it all clawed at his sanity. "You are a beast, driven by instinct without honor." The shadows taunted. "No," Enkidu roared, his voice steady against the storm of doubt. "I am more than the wild. I choose to protect, to fight alongside my brother." With that declaration, the forest quaked, and the shadows began to dissolve, revealing images of the lives he had saved, the bonds he had forged with the very people he had once scorned. "Embrace your nature, Enkidu," Gilgamesh shouted, guiding his friend's spirit through the maze of their trials. "It is both beast and man. It is the heart that beats within." Together, they crushed the doubts as a radiant light enveloped them, illuminating the path through the trials. The temple once again shifted, opening into a vast chamber where the guardian awaited, its form shimmering with approval. "You have faced yourselves and emerged stronger. The second trial awaits, and it is one of sacrifice," the guardian declared solemnly. "Sacrifice?" Enkidu echoed, his heart pounding. "What must we give?" The guardian's eyes glimmered with a knowing sorrow. "To gain the wisdom you seek, you must willingly relinquish something of great value. Are you willing to pay the price?" Gilgamesh stepped forward, the weight of the moment pressing upon him. "We will sacrifice what is dear to us. Tell us what we must do." "Your bond is strong, but the path ahead will test it," the guardian warned. "In the face of loss, can you still stand united? Will you uphold your honor above all?" Without hesitation, Gilgamesh and Enkidu nodded, their spirits intertwining with resolve. "We are warriors of destiny. We will face whatever trials await." The guardian raised a shimmering hand, and suddenly the chamber transformed into a dark abyss swirling with chaotic energy. "You must face the essence of your bond, the cost of your unity. Only then will you learn of glory." In that moment, the chamber erupted, and the dark energy coalesced into a monstrous figure, a grotesque amalgamation of their fears, anger, and insecurities. "I am your shadow, born from doubt and sacrifice. You cannot defeat me," it bellowed, the voice a malevolent echo of their own thoughts. Gilgamesh raised his sword, the blade alight with celestial energy. "We will conquer this darkness together." Enkidu transformed once more, fusing with the primal essence of the forest, his form rippling with raw strength. Together, we are unstoppable. The battle ignited, an explosion of fury and light, as they fought against the embodiment of their inner turmoil. The clash resonated in the depths of the temple, echoing through the ancient halls. Can you survive the loss? The monster taunted, striking with tendrils of shadow that sought to ensnare their hearts. What will you sacrifice? Your bond, your honor. But Gilgamesh and Enkidu stood firm, their spirits harmonizing into a symphony of strength. We will not let fear dictate our path. They shouted in unison, striking back with the force of their convictions. With each blow, they chipped away at the shadow, their bond igniting a fire within that illuminated the darkness. Our sacrifice is our unity. They roared, arrows of light piercing through the monster's form, forcing it to stutter back. The creature writhed in agony, the echoes of their voices ringing true. You cannot win. You will feel the sting of loss. But Gilgamesh and Enkidu pressed on, their hearts aflame with honor and determination. We are forged in trials. We will not falter. In a final surge, they delivered a devastating blow, their combined strength shattering the darkness, unraveling it into a cascade of shimmering light. The monster let out a piercing screech before collapsing into nothingness, leaving behind only silence, a silence filled with the understanding of sacrifice and honor. As the echoes faded, the guardian stood before them, its presence radiant. You have triumphed, brave souls. Through sacrifice, you have learned the essence of your bond, and now you carry the wisdom of the ancients. Tell us, guardian, what must we do to confront the darkness that stirs? Gilgamesh implored, his heart resolute. You must gather the lost fragments of the ancient relic, the heart of Uruk, scattered throughout the land. Only through these relics can you. Gilgamesh Journeys, Until Monster Strikes Part 4. The dawn sky blazed with hues of orange and red as Gilgamesh and Enkidu emerged from the depths of the temple of Ziggurat, their hearts heavy with the weight of their trials. They had faced their fears and learned the price of unity, but the path ahead shimmered with uncertainty, a tapestry woven with the threads of destiny. Fragments of the heart of Uruk, Gilgamesh murmured, looking towards the horizon that stretched infinitely before them. We must gather them if we are to confront this darkness. He clenched his fists tightly, determination coursing through his veins. But where do we begin? Enkidu inquired, his primal instincts still resonating from their recent trials. The winds whispered secrets, yet the location of the relics remained elusive, cloaked in the shadows of fate. We must seek the Oracle of Nippur, Gilgamesh declared, his voice steady. Legends say she possesses the sight to reveal the hidden paths. If anyone knows where the fragments lie, it is she. With a shared nod of resolve, the duo set forth, the sun climbing higher into the sky, illuminating their way. The landscape shifted as they traveled, from verdant fields to arid deserts, each step pulling them deeper into a world woven with magic and myth. As dusk approached, they arrived at the ancient city of Nippur, its grandeur diminished yet still whispering of its former glory. Towering ziggurats loomed against the twilight sky, their stones etched with tales of gods and men. The scent of incense wafted through the air, an invitation to the temple where the oracle awaited. Stay vigilant, Enkidu urged, his senses alive with the hum of energy. The shadows may linger even here in the light of the gods. Entering the temple, they were greeted by an ethereal glow emanating from the oracle, a figure draped in flowing robes, her eyes reflecting the wisdom of ages. Welcome, warriors of destiny, she intoned, her voice a melodic echo that filled the chamber. You seek the fragments of the heart of Uruk. Yes, Gilgamesh exclaimed, stepping forward. Tell us where we can find them. The fate of our world hangs in the balance. The oracle's gaze intensified, and the air thickened with the weight of foreboding. The heart has been shattered, its pieces scattered across realms steeped in peril. You will face trials of courage, wisdom, and sacrifice. Only then will you reclaim the essence of Uruk. Name these trials, and we shall face them without fear. Enkidu urged, his spirit igniting with the fire of determination. "Very well," the oracle replied, her eyes shimmering with ancient foresight. "The first fragment lies within the caves of Kurgal, guarded by a beast of unimaginable strength. You must confront it, but know this: the creature thrives on the fears you've yet to conquer." Gilgamesh felt a chill run down his spine, memories of their trials in the temple of Ziggurat surfacing. "We will prevail," he pledged. "What other trials await us?" The second fragment resides in the Valley of Echoes, where the spirits of the fallen weave illusions to confuse the living. There, you must unravel truth from deception. "And the last," the oracle continued, her voice growing grave, "is hidden within the abyss of despair, a chasm where hope flickers like a dying flame. To retrieve it, you must confront your darkest selves, the shadows of your past." Gilgamesh and Enkidu exchanged solemn glances, the weight of their journey pressing upon them. "We will gather the fragments," Gilgamesh declared, his heart aflame with determination. "We will not falter." With that, they exited the temple, the oracle's words echoing in their minds. The path to the caves of Kurgal stretched ahead, ominous and foreboding. As they traversed the rugged terrain, the sun dipped below the horizon, ushering in a cloak of darkness that wrapped around them like a shroud. "Keep your senses sharp," Enkidu whispered as they approached the mouth of the cave, jagged stones jutting out like the teeth of a great beast. "The guardian waits within." Summoning their courage, they entered the cave, the air growing cold and damp. Shadows danced along the walls, and the sound of dripping water echoed ominously, adding to the tension that coiled in their chests. Suddenly, a low growl reverberated through the darkness. "Foolish mortals!" A voice roared, shaking the ground beneath them. "You dare enter my domain!" From the shadows, a gargantuan creature emerged, a behemoth of sinew and scale, eyes glowing like embers. It bore the scars of countless battles, a testament to its ferocity and strength. "You seek the fragment. Then face me and prove your worth." Gilgamesh drew his sword, its blade shimmering with celestial light. "We will not back down. We fight for our people and the honor of Uruk." The creature lunged forward, a whirlwind of muscle and rage. Gilgamesh sidestepped, narrowly avoiding its deadly claws, while Enkidu transformed, merging with the primal essence of the wild, his form rippling with untamed power. Together, Gilgamesh shouted, striking with precision while Enkidu darted beneath the beast's defenses, claws tearing into its flank. The creature roared in fury, swinging its massive tail, but they danced around it, their movements a testament to their bond. The cave reverberated with the sounds of battle as Gilgamesh boldly charged, aiming for the creature's vulnerable underbelly. "Face your end, monster!" he bellowed, thrusting his sword forward. But the beast retaliated, its claws raking across Gilgamesh's side, sending him sprawling to the ground. Pain surged through him, but he pushed it aside, fueled by the fire of destiny. "Enkidu," he gasped, rising to his feet. "I am with you." Enkidu roared, his presence a blazing force of nature. Together they surged forward, their spirits intertwined, striking in unison. With every blow, they chipped away at the creature's ferocity, their bond igniting an unquenchable flame of courage. "Your strength is impressive, but you cannot hope to defeat me." The beast taunted, its eyes glinting with malice. "Face your deepest fears, for they are what truly bind you." Gilgamesh felt a shiver of doubt creep into his heart, memories of past failures threatening to engulf him. "No, I will not succumb to fear," he declared, focusing on Enkidu's fierce spirit beside him. Together, Enkidu urged, and with a final rallying cry, they launched themselves at the creature, their combined strength resonating with the heartbeat of the earth. The air crackled with energy as they struck with a flurry of blows, their resolve unyielding. In a moment of clarity, Gilgamesh perceived a weakness, the creature's heart pulsating with darkness. Now Enkidu strike true. With a final, devastating blow, they plunged their weapons into the beast's heart, a crescendo of light erupting from the wound. The creature let out a bone-chilling roar as its form disintegrated into shadows, scattering into the depths of the cave. As silence enveloped them, the air shimmered, and the first fragment of the heart of Uruk appeared, pulsating gently. Gilgamesh and Enkidu exchanged triumphant glances, the victory igniting a flicker of hope within their hearts. "Two more fragments to gather," Gilgamesh said, his voice steady, though the journey ahead loomed ominously. "Let us press on to the Valley of Echoes." As they traversed the rugged paths leading to the valley, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. The air thickened with memories, and the landscape transformed into a haunting reflection of their pasts. Whispers echoed from unseen spirits, weaving tales of glory and sorrow. "Stay focused," Enkidu cautioned, his primal instincts alert. "The spirits here will test our resolve." The valley stretched before them, an expanse of shimmering illusions where shadows danced with laughter and sorrow. As they entered, they were enveloped in a cacophony of voices, each one taunting and beckoning them. "Gilgamesh, you are alone," a voice echoing with the sound of lost dreams. "Remember the lives you've taken, the pain you've caused." "No," he shouted, battling against the tide of despair. "I am not the tyrant I feared to become." "Enkidu, your nature is savage," another voice hissed. "You are a beast, and beasts belong to the wild, not to the heart of man. Your words do not bind me." Enkidu roared, his spirit burning bright against the shadows. "I choose honor for my brother and the bonds I've forged." As the illusions intensified, the valley morphed, revealing images of their past battles, each one a reminder of their struggles and triumphs. "Face the truth," the spirits cried. "Can you truly overcome what you have lost?" In that moment, Gilgamesh and Enkidu reached for